Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Musings This Week. I'm your host, Eliza.
And I'm Alan. It's great to have you with us as we dive into some intriguing discussions.
Tonight, we're talking about an interesting scenario involving Stellarium, a planetarium software that lets you explore the night sky.
Ah, Stellarium, a tool that attracts both astronomers and developers alike. What's the story here, Eliza?
Well, Alan, it's quite fascinating. The person in question wanted to contribute a feature to Stellarium to provide surface brightness metrics, which are crucial for telescopic observations.
Surface brightness. Interesting. That's a measure of how bright an object appears depending on its size and luminosity, right?
Exactly. Our contributor found that it should be part of Stellarium, downloaded the code, made the changes, only to realize someone else had beaten them to the punch.
What a twist. It's like two minds synchronizing across the cosmos. I suppose they were a bit relieved, but also wowed by the coincidence.
Definitely, Alan. But here's where it gets to the meat of the matter. They were immensely impressed by the quality of the codebase. They found what needed changing swiftly, and noted the modifications were identical to their own. It underlines the code's quality.
That's a testament to the power of well-structured code. It allows multiple people to independently arrive at the same solution. A sign of low technical debt, I'd wager.
You hit the nail on the head, Alan. The contributor went on to discuss how developers aim for this clarity, especially when incorporating a domain-specific language, or DSL, into their projects.
DSLs are like fine-tuning your programming language to better suit the project needs, right? It makes the changes more manageable across the code.
Indeed, Alan. But our contributor also reflects on how an ideal language and architecture might negate the need for a DSL altogether.
Simplifying complexity. It's the holy grail of software engineering. Choosing a language and architecting a project to intuitively handle changes, it's easier said than done.
Exactly. But they also discuss the challenges when a language targets runtime performance, like managing static data, optimizing computations with caches, and using abstract data types, or ADTs.
Right. Those optimizations can turn the tables on you, causing the language to fight back. Sounds like a real struggle to juggle the various aspects of a growing code base.
And then, our intrepid contributor circled back to the impact of code quality, noting that making changes should prioritize the end result over subjective measures like line counts or programming language preferences.
I can't agree more, Eliza. If a novice can jump in and contribute meaningfully, that's the hallmark of quality code. Personal preferences should take a back seat to functionality and ease of understanding.
Speaking of subjective measures, our contributor then moves on to a gripe many developers may relate to.
Let me guess, adding just one more thing to an already bulging method or file? The bane of maintenance and scalability.
Bingo, Alan. They stress the need for a professional software engineer to write code that can scale and grow, rather than lumping everything into a big hairball.
And establishing architecture and modularity is key. It's like pruning a tree. It promotes healthy growth. Neglect it, and the whole thing becomes unwieldy.
Precisely. Our contributor also hopes to encourage reflecting on how easily a developer can navigate and implement changes, which they feel is the real measure of quality.
A very enlightened view. Usability over vanity metrics, if you will. On a somewhat related note, they touched upon workplace dynamics too.
They did, expressing some disappointment with age bias in their workplace, mentioning that youthful perspectives often override experience.
That's a tough pill to swallow, Eliza. The balance of fresh perspectives with seasoned wisdom is crucial.
Absolutely, Alan. They're disillusioned, but seem to be taking it as a learning experience. Looks like they're eyeing greener pastures with a more demographically balanced workplace.
We wish them the best in finding that balance. It's a tricky part of team dynamics for sure.
To cap off, Alan, they also gave a little nod to Stellarium's features, like scripting capabilities, which led to a custom desktop wallpaper setup.
Quite the versatile tool, isn't it? I love that even in an urban setting the stars are just a few clicks away, thanks to Stellarium.
That wraps up our segment for this evening. Thank you for tuning in to Musings This Week.
Remember, keep pondering, keep questioning, and keep looking up. Good night, folks.